Alright guys, today we're going to give the Z some much needed TLC after this last weekend.
So the biggest thing we're doing today, we're going to be putting new rear control arms on to get the camber dialed a bit. I've been running about like 2.5 degrees on the setup right now, which is for drifting, or just in general, that's a lot, like for autocross or drifting. So I want to get that down so my tire life is a lot better, because in the past, I mean, I'm just eating the inside of tires. Look at that. There's the set from last weekend. So we can get that down. We can get the camber or tire life a lot better for drifting, and I think the car will just handle better, because I think right now it just has too much. It's not totally utilizing the tire. So we got Kinetics control arms. I did order the Z1 ones originally, but they're still being manufactured, and I'm going on a road trip to visit family in California next week, so I needed them a little faster. But these definitely fit the bill. The Z1 offers these to delete the eccentric bolts. So right now it has the bolts inside of there that you adjust, the ones with the washer that as you adjust it, it changes your camber. This is a delete for this. So this fits right inside of that slot, and it's fixed. Now you might see the holes offset a little bit. So if you set them in straight, that's zero camber adjustment. So you can set them in a little further out for the car. Let's say we're looking at it from the rear of the right car, but you set it here. That gives us a little more negative because it pushes that lower control arm out. And then if we look at the other way, see how the hole's to the left now? That gives us a little bit of positive degree, or positive camber. I think about 0.5 degrees in either magnitude. So that's really nice because now I don't have to worry about, a lot of times I'll probably hit a bump, pothole, jump the car at Life Motorsports, and that bolt will move and my alignment changes. So this will be really nice for keeping a solid alignment. And lastly, we got a motor mount because I broke one at the last drift event. So yeah, let's get started with the suspension first. Before we start, we got our coffee. First important step to doing any projects. Ooh, let's get this guy off. It's tight. Oh yeah, that was easy. Look how rusty that was. I sprayed these with PB Blaster like way before I started this video, so this is hard to film. Do it for the vine. Okay, I'm putting the camera down. So doing this is actually really easy. I'll show you guys in a quick video right now. I'm going to cut the parts where I have to get up for tools, but otherwise, the quick, straightforward steps to do this. Super easy to do, guys. Alright guys, coffee break time. Okay, back to work. So this one's kind of rusty. The threads aren't bad, but we're going to clean it up. So just a quick little pro tip from your associates at Discount Schwab. The tire authorities. Waterstone recommends this. They do alignments and tires. Who else is a popular one? Midas. The nighttime Midas. But yeah. Nice and clean. Alright, let's put those arms on. So here's a comparison of the two arms. So I've extended the Kinetics one to about the same length as the OEM one. And that's how much adjustment I have. That threading right there. So I almost wonder if I'm going to actually get into the positive range. We'll see though, because right now the car is sitting about 2.5 to 3 degrees roughly after all the abuse I put it through since the last alignment. We'll see where it's at though, but I'm going to just max it out positive and go from there. So yeah, and this is nice. Kinetics already loops up the threads for you, so good on them. Okay, so we're going to slide these in first. I guess technically we got to put the arm in there. of a pain to move just on its own. So we're just gonna extend it back out to about where it was at and go from there. So one thing that seems to make it easier is get these blocks in first and tighten, get them snug, and then get this bolt in next. Whoa! Okay. One thing I may suggest if you're having a hard time getting them to like stay in place, maybe put like a dab of silicone on them, just to hold them there. But if you're too cozy where you're sitting already, you can just fucking send it. Time to pitter patter. Alright, so this is how adjustment works. You got your jam nuts here. These are the lock nuts. So we want to go positive, so we want to bring this arm inwards. So you can use that middle nut to adjust the threads inwards. And I got the jam nut on the wrong side. So, since I want to go positive, I need to bring this jam nut all the way out over here. Because as those threads come in, this will get closer. But I want that one closest to the actual jam nut. And you might be able to see the wheel moving, and I'm going negative actually. So we want this jam nut all the way in. We want this one all the way out, because we're threading into that. There we go. You see, you might be able to see the wheel getting more positive as we do this. Alright guys, that's all done. Let's get the wheels on real quick and we'll go over to the motor mount. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all that positive toe and positive camber. I think the camber will level out as soon as the cars drop. That is a lot of toe, which is expected. Usually when you lower your car and your camber's out and you adjust your camber back, you can't get your toe back to spec. So right now the camber was set to what was 2.5 degrees, or sorry, the toe was set to what was equivalent at 2.5 degrees of camber, which affects it. Every little alignment change you make makes it change somewhere else. So toe is set to that. So now that we went positive, we've also shifted the toe. Hopefully I have enough toe adjustment in it. Usually they suggest arms, but I already have SPC's adjustable toe bolts on this car, the ones that give you an extra degree of range. So hopefully that's sufficient. We'll see though. I mean, there will always be a balance to it. So if I can't get down to 1 degree of negative camber and have good toe, I might be able to get to negative 1.5 degree and then be within toe spec. So, but that's for the alignment shop to figure out. I might eyeball it before I drive over, but yeah, we'll go from there. Another annoying thing is, you guys see this bolt here? See how there's a slot for the eccentric, but there's not one on the right side? I had an alignment shop put those cam bolts I had on, and when they were grinding it down, they nicked it and shaved it off. So basically, it was pretty wobbly crap. So what I might have to do, we're probably gonna have to set the camber to this side first. It's kind of ghetto. It'll be a lot better than before, and then match that side to it. And then the future, what I'll probably do, not immediately, but sometime soon, is take this guy here, bunch it up against here and tack weld it, so that way we have this. It is a more permanent solution, but I think it'll be for the best. I noticed during ISS towards the end of the day, my shifter was off. Like I missed a couple shifts actually, And sorry, I think Rudy was following me and I missed a shift and like he initiated a little earlier because he thought I was going to. But I missed a gear, so I was just like, ah! Anyway, talked to Jordan that runs Salt City Drift because he has a G35. And he was telling me, I was like, can you look at my car? My motor looks crooked. Just making sure I'm not dehydrated. Comes and looks at it. He's like, oh yeah, you broke a motor mount. He's like, pop it in reverse, rev it up and pop the clutch. I was like, what? So I did it. And gear shifter went back into place, motor sat back down. So apparently that motor mount is the one that gets lifted on when you give it gas. So this one closest to us is the one that gets squished so it doesn't wear out as fast, it doesn't tear. Luckily, according to Jordan, that's an easy one to change. I quote him, he said it took him 20 minutes to do it while talking to someone in his driveway. So let's see how easy this is. And a side note, I'm lucky I don't drive the car in reverse a lot because obviously I'd break this motor mount then, huh? Well, that motor mount's fine, and I only got an OEM one for 20 bucks, so I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, next thing we're gonna do is, hi Boof, you here to tell us what we're gonna do next? You gonna help us? What's this? What's this? Haven't been able to get a splash shield yet for this car, so I got this one from Genesis. I'm just gonna retrofit it. So my goal is to put it like this. So here's the bumper here like that. We're gonna put it there like that. Oh, look how dark that is. You guys can't see that. And we're gonna do that real quick, and then we're gonna call it end of the day. So for everything good, proper we do, we're gonna do something ghetto also, just to keep the balance of the universe in check, you know? Anyway, so this splash shield I got here is from a Genesis coupe, just laying around in my garage. We are going to do some zip tie engineering. That's my emphasis in my major here at Utah State, zip tie engineering. Anyway, we're just taking the factory mounting holes from, oh look at that, oh that's shiny, oh. Anyway, squirrel. I'm just taking factory mounting holes in the radiator support and just gonna match them up to some of these holes here. Then I'll drill some holes in the bumper, zip tie to there, and get it to a point where it's rigid. And the reason for doing this, like I want a splash shield, but just one of those things I keep forgetting to buy. So I'm doing this temporarily, just to force more air through. So from an aerodynamic standpoint, when air is flowing through the bumper and you have an opening here, that high pressure air is gonna wanna flow under the car. So right now we're forcing that high pressure air through the radiator, through the power steering, through the oil cooler. With this, we should see a significant increase in cooling actually. This is a very bad setup for cooling right now because we're losing a lot of that airflow because naturally the air wants to flow through this path. It wants to rejoin the air coming under the car. So right now we're forcing it through the cooling system. Alright guys, it is done. That's actually going to work really good actually. And it's really reinforced the bumper. I mean, that's really stiff. This flexi bumper is no longer as flexi. I'm not sure that's good or bad. I don't know, we'll have to watch out for those IS300 doors though. Anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And in the next video, we'll probably go get the alignment. I'm waiting on some new Freddos coming in. And we'll be driving to California actually. I'm not sure if we're going to record that. The road trip videos are kind of boring I feel. But we'll be in California, we'll do something. And yeah, anyway, if you liked the video, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.